the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. Don't stop, stop it up, don't back. I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. And so what? You're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad, I stay strong. You will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you're gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math, when I hate, I attack. I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. Don't stop, stop it up, don't stop.
Time to put this thing to sleep. Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Sorry I'm a little bit late, I was running some errands. Let's dive straight into this. Some would say that today was a nothing burger, which I pretty much would agree with. We didn't really have anything too exciting today. As you can see, the price action opened up relatively tame and remained so throughout the session. And we are kind of seeing what I would describe a sort of a flattening of the curve. As we were saying, we're running up. We still have this wonderful gap right below us to close. Don't forget. Those don't remember, we have that beautiful thing, right? Opened up on the 24th just yesterday, so we have to close that. Let's go, I guess, to 5 minutes. 1 minute is not all that interesting. I was wondering whether we would be able to push a little bit higher, since we have a gap right here at around 58.20, which was the original assessment, which I will see. You know what, instead of sort of doing this, I'm not sure, and you'll understand why I'm not certain we'll be able to do so, although I would very much be in favor if the price action would be able to push a little bit higher and actually close this gap. It will be phenomenal. I'll have my mind at rest. The 1 minute is not indicative of anything. Really, what we're seeing is more of this sort of narrow channel that we're moving sideways downwards, and there's no indication here that we're going to do anything substantial that should change our mind, right? 5 minutes. 5 minutes, since we're seeing the current channel, right, as you can see, the current channel is upwards looking on the 5 minutes, so that gives me some hope that maybe if we'll push just a little bit higher and break out of the channel and some other black magic, we'll be able to push through. With this momentum, it's kind of hard to tell. It appears to be that we're barely going to make it potentially to the median here, so we're kind of struggling with that. for the moment. If we're looking at 30 minutes, again, still upwards trend, which I have lots of faith in, lots and lots of faith. You can see that kind of coincides with the idea of what I was saying. We're still on the lower end. We still have some downwards pressure. If we'll start pushing higher right away tomorrow, that will be cool. That can result in actually that very gap that I was talking about. Here it is, by the way. That is that very gap that I was mentioning that we have some leftovers from. You can see it's roughly around 5,825-ish, kind of. Technically that's the candlestick, so that's like 58.41 actually, to be more precise. Oh my god. Or maybe I'm just seeing it mixed and I really need to see it from this point of view, but it doesn't matter right now. It still is within the same vicinity. $20 up, $20 down don't matter too much to me. 5,820 is difficult enough. Let me have some hope for maybe the market will be able to push high enough to close that, just for me to have that wonderful relaxing moment. 45 minutes does not look all that healthy. If you're objectively looking, we're sitting at the upper side of the channel and we're starting to have this very distinct deterioration. We were deteriorating all along, but now we are really gonna have it. We're gonna have it really bad, right? How Russell Peters does. In, I think, we are below the 20 range on stochastic RSI, which means we're probably going to continue and have, at least on the 45 minutes point of view, a little bit more bearishness, which basically tames down that bullish momentum we saw earlier. All this does is basically results force against force, and will result in nothing, in a status quo, pretty much. And this is negative, which I'm not too thrilled about. Like I said, I'll be super thrilled to see the market actually push just a little bit higher, just a little bit. But sadly, the market, as you can see on the 1 hour, is already negative, and that appears to be, well, I wouldn't determine anything. The market can pick this back up tomorrow, given the bullish momentum we saw coming in from here. Maybe give another convergence divergence impulse over the 1 hourly. That is definitely not something that is beyond the realm of possibility. 4 hours. 4 hours is bullish at face value, but then becoming borscht. As we say, it's becoming bearish basically slowly, and the bearish momentum is overpowering, or rather we're losing very rapidly that bullish momentum and subsequently giving way to the red dominant line here, the D basically. And so that results in us not being able to make it to that 58.40, which I really want the market to make. But still, since we're still overbought, I would say that maybe some of the bullish momentum from the lower tiers maybe will be able to allow us to push through and continue and, well, finalize this process. The daily, the light at the end of the tunnel, maybe will lead before full convergence happens, but it happens, well, we're having today. This is the day is coming to an end, and we have like 47 minutes. 37 minutes, sorry, 37 minutes. And yeah, I mean, I have my doubts about this for some reason. I mean, I'm just saying. And so this is hopefully maybe tomorrow. Hopefully this is also part of that bullish momentum that I'm talking about, allowing us to finalize that last final movement, close the gap before we revert back down. And the monthly still looks like utter dumpster fire, and basically is getting ready to dump the market into a spiral downwards that's gonna take a while. Normally these trends persist for quite a while, and they stem from far larger time frames, which are conveniently gonna come to an end. This candlestick will get locked in about 6 days, which is this, when we're talking about the quarterly, right? And so we are still left with 3 months to lock the half year. But the half year, as you notice, is already not looking very healthy. In fact, it's looking very sickly, breaking down to around the 50, potentially signaling that we're going to have a very prolonged downwards trend from where we're at now. Okay, not up and down, from where we're at now. A lot, like several candlesticks of half year. So you do the math on that, right? At least a couple, if not 3 of them. So you do the math on how painful can that get. I kind of gave you and told you that the bottom line of this channel is roughly around 4,800. So I give the range of 4,800 for 4,900. Nothing changed since. We're still getting ready. The market is getting charged. Basically, we've gone through this we've gone through a corrective period. If you noticed, by the way, again, ironically enough, even I predict the correct moves even for the bulls, right? Like, notice what's going on, right? They can be as hateful as they want, but I was able to. I was the only one when they were panic. Like, notice the irony. The bulls were panicking here, right? And I was the only one telling them that they're gonna have a rally. Again, didn't want to listen. Basically, no one wants to listen other than students of mine and people who truly understand the technicals carry tremendous value. But let them cry me a river in just a little bit. Again, notice, Greg was absolutely right. Guys, I literally told you. I marked this so many times. I, in fact, even given you the trend. And so what is that? Like 1,000 points, Greg, at this stage, market zero, whatever. Yeah, so that's Palantir for you. Tesla, again, remember, so far I was the only one when everybody were panicking and saying, Tesla is going to drop to the floor. I was telling you that it's still going to rally, although I gotta admit, this is extra low, and this is not high enough. Just saying. And it's not like you're doing all that well, right? Just saying. I mean, if you're lucky, this entire process will get prolonged, and so subsequently going to drop back down, eventually retesting this before actually breaking down furthermore. But that's if you're lucky. This is, I mean, I gotta admit, this is just looking very bad. Very, very bad. I expected this trend to get far more prolonged than what it seems to be. It appears to be that it's going to be far shorter and far lower than most people expect. There is still this thing that I'm not certain about, the weekly, but it doesn't change the overall framework, right? The overall framework still looks pretty bad for Tesla, and don't forget, Tesla still lives within the environment of the market, and so yeah, that's it. Ran out of data. Subsequently, things are not looking all too healthy for Tesla. And yeah, that is it. I mean, Tesla is the only one that is very badly misleading, because a lot of people will assess, well, if we've been oversold for so long, we're going to need to start picking back up. First of all, I don't know if you realize you just gone bearish, full on the half year, and we have still 3 months to close this one, right? 3 months and 6 days, we just said. So there is a lot of stuff that is still uncertain, and we can actually retain and persist with the oversold territory, because the problem is the only wave you can compare to is the tremendously overbought wave that was highly manipulated, or rather came through the behavior of the market and has no merit in reality. And so subsequently it's gonna fade away over time when we establish the real channel, the real trend, which seems to be a diagonal trend downwards, before within a couple of years we actually start to pick back up. That is it. Nothing really changed, and yeah, everything kind of gone as predicted. So 1,000% points to Greg, 0 points market, right? We all agree. On the continuous channel, by the way, another important announcement to those who haven't watched or are not up to speed: the academy is currently, the one-on-one academy is full. So I'm sorry, those who didn't make it, now you have to wait. And you can book spots, but it will take a while, at least several weeks, before I have new spots available. I'm booked to the brim, to the absolute brim. And I have a couple of booked spots already that are in advance, so I know that. So yeah, basically, one-on-one academy is full for now. Sorry, it is what it is. Okay, isn't making... Hi, hello. Arrangement usually Friday afternoon. Friday afternoon, excuse. Well, good question. I mean, I cannot tell you what the excuse will be this time, and I don't try to follow up and make, match the event to the timing almost, because we know the timing can be slightly off, a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. We're not here to time the market, but more so identify the checkpoints and identify whether the market can make it to the next checkpoint, has the necessary fuel, so to speak, to make it or not. It's just all that simple. Just giving you hard time. Nah, JP, are you good? You're good, bro. You didn't. No hard time here. It was legit. Anybody, guys? I guess tickers. Since we kind of plowed through this, the overall assessment is that basically, even if we're gonna see some bullish momentum, a little bit plowing through a little bit. I mean, just kind of look at this price action that we had recently. That was the whole downwards trend. This is the whole bullish trend, if you will. Where we haven't even made it to halfway retracement, and we already are running out of momentum, right? And if we're gonna make it through to that 820, 840, what is that? Conveniently, the median of the channel. And so that's not far-fetched to see the market actually create this sort of structure and end up failing at this stage, not ever being able to break out, back into the previous channel, subsequently leading to the fact that this is now the current channel and potentially leading the market to continue and deteriorate quicker now that it's established that it's breaking out from this channel and moving on to the right. And normally when we move to the right, we first have a corrective movement, only then we proceed into an upwards trend. Zim! Oh my god, Zim! Zim, I haven't heard that. We definitely are doing Zim. We're so doing Zim. Oh my god, we're so doing Zim. Who won Zim? Who won Zim? Johnny, you goddamn legend. Yes, we're doing Zim. Yes. Yes, we're doing Zim. Zim, actually I have a friend who works there, a friend who I used to work in the financial industry with. An awesome dude. I'm not gonna dox him. Don't worry. And I like them. I used to like them. There was an amazing trade I told the guys to do back then, or a couple of them really. That, well, I didn't tell the guys. I just kind of emphasized that there is a potential thing going on there. Let me correct myself. And yeah, lots of people made lots of money. I myself did not participate in it proper. I was too busy with other things. Too busy. Now, Zim. Let's do Zim. I remember the original analysis is that, and I think I said this. This is just now I think I'm starting to see this coming to fruition. But I really do wonder. Look, if we're not gonna break down the company, which, again, sort of without thinking beyond the realm of what the technicals are saying, I'll say this. This either looks really bad or really good. What do I mean? You're like, I mean, Greg, really? It's like saying the market can go up or down. Not exactly. I'll explain. First of all, those who are more sharp-eyed and hawk-eyed, whatever you want to use, obviously notice that there is some form of a head and shoulders formulating here, right? You can see there's internal ones, and this within itself potentially is going to be a shoulder. You might have an inverted head. Maybe it depends on the breakdown. I'll tell you, it depends the overall cycle. I'm going to see in a couple of seconds whether there's a larger or this is the larger one. But you definitely have a shoulder here, you definitely have a head here, and definitely have another shoulder structure here, right? So basically what you're seeing here is an inverted head and shoulders potentially, which the problem with an inverted head and shoulders, generally speaking, this is more of a bearish sign, but it is complicated. Some people say, well, inverted head and shoulders is bullish, right? Because you end up moving upwards. It's a little bit more sophisticated than that. Sure, there potentially a movement to the upside, creating the arm, basically, right? Does that mean, you see, there are different sort of arguments to this. Some people would argue that, or some analysts, or that this may result in an upwards trend leading to a higher high from the previous high, from the all-time high, creating this inverted head and shoulders, which is a very interesting thing. Normally, I would agree. There's a bit of a problem. Zim, I don't think they are that unhinged from the overall market and will probably suffer a penalty as the rest of the market will. And so even if it is able to generate an arm right here, it's not going to exceed the previous high, and in fact it's going to generate sort of this descending structure that is probably going to in fact rely more on this area, right, than on this exception. This is the real downwards trend that you have still to break. And we'll see. Look, the market is currently ascending in a very distinct upwards channel, right? As we proceed, this is going to take a while. We may be testing through this channel as we are all the way until 2026. So we have quite a significant chunk of time before. And so when we get there, or if we at all, because it appears to be that we're testing for the first time, then we're probably going to retest at least a couple more eventually. So this may proceed for a while. On the larger time frame, you can kind of see what's going on. I'm not going to try. I'm probably going to get a quarterly. Yeah, not pointless. But this says it all. And this is also very not surprising because notice that we're roughly in the very same vicinity when it comes to our S&P, right? So we're basically printing the very same thing, so it means it's highly connected. And it's not too difficult to notice that it's pretty much coupled in with the market, right? More so those who are more so aware of things. Jesus, can I get a normal chart, please? It's going to be a bit messy, but sure, right? Focus on this. Focus on the similarities. Focus on that. Focus on that. And focus on that. And focus on that. There's plenty of similarities. So on one hand, on the smaller time frames, it's pretending as if it's going to try and continue into this channel into oblivion, right? The one we can see on the weekly. On the other hand, we are objectively more bearish on it, as you can see, a descending sort of directional channel, grand channel, if you will, formulating on this. And so you're descending. The whole thing is descending. And very risky, Johnny, very risky, although I like Zim, and I understand that shipping costs are high, and so their profit margin is high, but everything else is high as well, right? Israel, the whole Middle East condition. There are so many other factors that play into this, and I can tell you that, remember, we don't try to guess or assess sort of the reasoning for what the market is showing that it's going to do, because the reasoning might not be clear yet nor on the table yet, just like with other events that we saw before. But the technical analysis is already pointing towards the fact of the matter that this is the direction towards which we're spilling, and it's probably unavoidable. In most instances, that's exactly the case. It's like once you start spilling over into a particular direction, it's not going to stop until it fulfills its process. And these are predetermined not by me. That's just math and market, like it or not, right? Arguing with the math is like arguing with the wall. PEP. We're going to check PEP. Bedwars, I think I just covered PEP the other day, but PEP generally, always goodbye. It's the tampon trade, you know? Remember, PEP is always a good thing. We're gonna... Guys, you coming up with some really good stuff. We just been on Meta. I think we've just done it the other day as well. You can kind of see the analysis. I don't have to spend a lot of time on it, but the overall assessment that it's a gradual descent, of course involving some a little bit of a climb right there. So before it completely breaks down, we do expect it, at least based upon what I'm seeing. And here you can see the momentum. You can literally see the yellow color here signifies this upwards momentum still, right? But then overall downwards, whether it's going to happen with how this black channel looks like or this black channel, right? You get the idea. It doesn't matter whether it's going to play out one way or another. It appears to be that the current checkpoint is roughly around 650. And from there on out, retest, of course, up and down. As we said, we saw it on the larger time frames. But overall, what appears to be the right thing is that on the larger time frames, it's far more breaking down like everything else. You can there's plenty of telltale signs, and that's why I in advance drew this descending structure, and more so we highlighted how this could also be a form of a head and shoulders, right, which will involve probably several impulses there. So it's going to be a tedious process, maybe testing this wedge to generate the shoulder, or at least testing that, but not as persistent as I've made it. But again, there's just one scenario that could be, right? But the overall process of the market is pretty much as expected. We're seeing we're having a very strong channel right there at 474.58, 482.44. This is a very strong channel, so I'm not going to be surprised if we're going to be testing it to death once achieved. And yeah, but we still have a lot of work to do to get it there. And because you can see, this is a very well established, very well known channel that was tested before, and so I'm not going to be surprised if it's going to be tested to death once we arrive to it, which is roughly resides around 480, 470 handle, as we said. Right. And that's also going to be reinforced by the market going down. So, yeah. Goes hand in hand. Guys, it's not going to be all that surprising that on vast majority of the assets, we're going to see the current painful momentum that's already printing. And also the forward-looking momentum that looks identical to how the indices are looking. Basically, it just goes to show how important the indices are to the overall guideline. Here you can see something very similar to the phenomena we had during COVID. Hitting the channel on the top, testing above it, which is interesting. It is slowly deteriorating before ever making it to the 80. That is like a really bad sign. Again, on the quarterly 6 days, I remind ya. And so if we're going to overturn right here and start going bearish, get ready for lots of pain. I'm assessing roughly around 122.99, 116.85 right there. And of course, don't neglect to think that we're going to give this up real quick. Of course, that's the end process, but we will be testing 150, 148.14 it appears to be, but basically this wedge. I'm not going to be surprised that this wedge is going to be tested to death, okay, before we continue downwards. And so the verdict is downwards, like everything else. So weird, right? Look at that being broken down right below 50, and you can see convergences happening on the 6 months, which we know we still have 3 more months of pain. Please hit the like. I agree with Leo. Definitely, please do hit the like. Hitting the like teleports a Lamborghini and 2 ballerinas to wherever you are at that very moment right now. If it doesn't happen, blame God. It's all him. It's his fault. He's in charge of the Lambos and the ballerinas. I'm merely in charge of giving you technical analysis from the market and my own stupid opinion. Then you do whatever you want with that. So, we've gone through the first 3. Let's go do Lululemon. Let's do Lulu. Lulu. Lulu, Lulu, Lulu. Who remembers there was a kiddie show named Lulu, I think, or something like that, right? Like a little girl in a red dress, I think. Or I think, yes. Pretty sure now. I'm pretty sure there's a red dog, which is Clifford, and a girl in a red dress. Everything seems to be red. Okay, gotcha. So the market is red, Clifford is red, Lulu is red. Everything is red. Gotcha. All right. This is red. This is exactly as you can see. Nothing has changed since I've made the prediction, other than there will probably be a little bit of a pickup in momentum once complete this whole back and forth right here at the bottom, which may mean maybe slightly lower at 257 handle, but right now we're residing at this very, very strong, super duper 317.03 and 301.07 and all that beautiful stuff comes for you for free by Oprah Winfrey. And yeah, that is what you get. Now. I see that already broken down, that it's not going to be all that surprising if the market will end up, once retesting this low, retrying that 3 Pro in 317, 301, and all the way to 371 will be determined as we go, because it's currently building the downwards channel, which it already tested before, and in fact was the primary force and driver to why the market started breaking down. Sorry for that, my voice is going bananas. And let me take a sip. Beautiful. But yeah, basically now we're moving between 382.32, 317.03, 301.07, and the bottom would be 243.99. Very wide range. I know it sucks, but as you can see, I already marked this. And more so, it appears to be that I'm a smartass and I prepared in advance how, when we complete that beautiful thing, to potentially complete that head and shoulders that we will be making here, because again, here is a shoulder, here is head, here is whatever shoulder is going to be. I'm not saying that's going to be it. Remember, it doesn't have to be symmetrical at all. In fact, it can be like that, right? But currently we're assessing that the most reasonable thing to look at is either this, or maybe concluding this was already part of the shoulder. Now we're kind of making this shoulder blade, and only then an arm leg. An arm leg. Those understand. Arm leg. Leg arm. Leghorn, foghorn. Leghorn, foghorn. That's another cartoon character for ya. There you go. I miss Tim now. Tim used to know all that fun stuff. Finally, a ticker when Greg doesn't say where the F you come up with this crap. No, Zim is great. It actually is a very good idea. No, I'm not saying where you come up with this crap. Actually, I give you lots of props for some, like, really the awesome things you come up with. But also sometimes, you know, in the attempts of finding something cool, you end up finding some weird stuff. That happens. That's normal. But Zim is a good idea. Zim is a good idea in general. It's just not going to be short term. And I think it has good management. It comes from very old school Israeli militaristic kind of attitude and approach. Those who don't know, the CEO is or was, I need to check whether it was replaced by now. I think not. I'm pretty sure founder as well. At least one of the founders in that case. I think one of the 3 founders or 2 founders, something like that. And he is an ex special forces guy in the IDF. He was, rather. I need to check up the management. John, you should check up the management, whether the management is still as was or whether something got replaced. A lot of things can happen, so check it out. Definitely look into the management. But the management, at least the one that was prior, and I can tell you from how these sort of people think, he was surrounded by like-minded people, and so this company, logistically speaking and strategically speaking, is probably managed very well. And of course, conditions, geopolitics, all sorts of stuff, COVID, for example, instability in the supply chain, which we had for quite a long time. In fact, we haven't, guys, those who are deluded to think for half a second the supply chain is now back to normal, I'm sorry to tell you, but we are far away from seeing any form of normality in the supply chain. In fact, it might get a lot worse by the 2nd of April when tariffs start hitting, and as things will play out, and wars and this and that. And look, to keep it simple, again, though most of you know, and I'm kind of open about these things, I was a Trump supporter. I still am a Trump supporter. It doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things because I don't have a vote. Anyways, I'm not from the U.S. But if you ask me, he was always the best solution, far better than any offer the Democrats could have come up with. Definitely not Kamala. I was just would have been I don't even want to. I don't want to imagine a reality where Kamala would have won this election. And to am I saying Trump is perfect? Hell no. Hell no. Trump, one of his strongest suits, in my humble opinion, is at the end of the day that he knows how to get the best experts, true experts, and listen to them. Even though sometimes it contradicts what he may be thinking, but he's a smart man. He knows how to listen, right? Not just hear, but listen, right? Not just hear. He doesn't just hear the voices and noises they make. No, he really attentively listens, and he has a very good memory. We all know that. And he knows how to eloquently sort of present not pleasant solutions in not the most pleasant way, weirdly, but I gotta say that the results speak for themselves. And if you ask me, this is like putting iodine on a wound, which it burns, it hurts, but that's a good thing. It means the iodine is doing something. It's killing germs that you don't want to have there. So in other words, what Trump is iodine for the system. And it's going to be shocking for the system, right? It's going to be potentially very painful for the retail and just the average, American, the average person around the world. It's going to be very unpleasant inflation-wise. It's going to get... no one puts out 80% of a fire. It's just actually moronic. And so what we've done is basically that. We've put out 80% of the fire, and no, we're not standing there prepared. We wasted all the water we had, and now while the fire truck is going for another water run, guess what? The fire is reigniting. And we may see, because of Trump's actions in the short run, some really weird things with the market, insane volatility even. And I know some will remember it as a bad time and blame Trump purely for it, but that's bullshit, because he is the solution. As we said, the iodine is going to be unpleasant, it's going to take a while, but he will be the solution. In this instance, I'm not saying how anybody else would have been able to traverse and manage the current conditions and the geopolitical sphere as they appear right now. Tackle economic issues, tackle issues that Elon is helping them with Doge, and the DOJ is already in full swing. So things are being done. Things are being done. Some of them will, in the short run, in the sort of close vicinity, the reverberation effects, the first, second degree will be unpleasant, but the third, fourth, fifth, sixth will be good. At least so we hope. Maybe it'll take longer, right? No one knows. We're not trying to time the market nor these events. It's very difficult to time reverberation effects or side effects, if you will, right? Now, all right, let's do PEP. PEP, I like. I think that was bad words. Bad words. I really like PEP. It is the tampon trade. Sadly, as you can tell, I'm not too biased about them. And as you can see, like the rest of the market, we're sliding over into the descending channel, which can be very unpleasant in all sorts of ways. Retesting, schmittesting, doesn't matter. It all results in a downwards spiral. And that has nothing to do with PEP. It has everything to do with the consumer debt. It has everything to do with the inflation that is and is going to get worse. It has to do with all these things. It has to do with the shortages of jobs, job openings, with unemployment, with job losses, with all that beautiful stuff. The CPI will start showing that subsequently, of course, right? The Consumer Price Index. So basically all that stuff is up to come. Right now, people really think the worst, where we're going through the worst. In fact, we haven't even started yet. That's just my humble opinion and analysis. Maybe I'm a moron and wrong. Remember, I'm just some dude on the internet that shows you crooked-ass pattern on the chart, right? That's kind of what it is. I just coincidentally end up being right more often than I'm being. But, let's keep that aside. And also very beautiful, beautiful hair and modest, super modest. I swear, very modest. Um, all jokes aside, yeah, Pep is going down like the rest of them, and sadly, it's going to be very unpleasant. We are talking about, as you know, as you understand, significant lows. So right now, we kind of made through the path we were saying, but yeah, more lows, more lows, even if it's with a slight correction to back into the channel right here, right, or at least testing the median, since that's what we're doing, and it's an ascending channel, right? Still, so it's going to appear as if we're moving upwards just for the purpose of going lower. Right now, your monthly is bearish, but it will probably change over time. Your quarterly that is about to close within 6 days is bearish, subsequently to all that bearish momentum. So yeah, do you deserve a correction? We kind of spoke about it. Makes sense. Now you can even see the 3 channels that I drew. Of course, my stupid ass cannot draw to save its own life an actual straight channel. Damn it! Oh my god! It is actually legitimately painful looking at my own channels sometimes. Now, but you get the idea. The premise is premise is still the same. Channel, you can see, and going down, right? Too narrow. My god, but Jesus, thank god I was able to do at least one straight line. You get the idea. So Pep is down, even though it's probably gonna have a bit of a corrective movement back to 160 there, 160.68, and then back to where it is, 150, 145, probably retesting and having supports and resistances throughout every $5. So 155, of course. I mean, of course, when we drop, well, we're not gonna drop that low, but yeah, you get the range. Basically, it's 145, 140, 160, 140 again, and lower. From there on out, actually can go lower, but that could be the impulse. Unless the market breaks down earlier and then breaks down Pep with it, because Pep is not at fault. It's still going to be a good buy to buy while it's dropping, because Pep is the tampon trade. Why? Because people will not start drinking, their soft drinks, because there's a high variety. I'm not even gonna say any drink, because there's plenty. You have from your garden variety Coke, to your various iced teas, schmeisties. There are like so many things. Then you have on top of it all, you have all the candies, the snacks, all the snacks, and all. There's like I think even some ice cream in there. Like basically an entire array of stuff we all and everybody's children will. I mean, it's still, look, even if you're not big on snacks like I am, I'm not really big on snacks, I gotta admit it. Even I buy the occasional Doritos and all sorts of things, right? So to try and avoid Pep is like trying to avoid oxygen. Good luck. So, didn't go to the moon without me? Yes! Mircha, we're already on the moon. You missed the train, man. The choo-choo train. The crazy train to the moon. Submarine train to the moon. Okay, so we've gone there. Pep, I've done. What am I forgetting? Why am I feeling like I'm forgetting something? I'm feeling like wait, let me check. No, okay, well, OPCH. Let's do OPCH. Have we checked this recently? Am I supposed to know what this is? Oh, that is not cool I mean, it's cool. Okay, so this is cool, but not cool. So these are slippages. I like the charts like this. This is fun. So this is slippage. This is slippage. Obviously, your actual channel is here. If you're looking at the smaller channel, if you really, really are able to have X-ray vision, you're going to realize that your channel is just wider and actually moving something akin to this. So sad I cannot draw. At least not on this. And so, but it still is an ascending channel. But under the current behavior and the way it likes to exceed to the absolute extremes, even though some of it is slippage, some of it is actually part of the channel. There's like a lot of dark voodoo magic blah blah nonsense that's going on in between the lines here. The bottom line is that I can tell you that I can easily see how with that wonderful gap at 42, the market definitely wants to go up on this, okay? I mean, here it is, okay? I mean, you're clearly above the 50, very steep to the upside. Phew, magic. What anybody would like to see. Problem. Not certain about how high. I can try and determine that, but it's maybe badly off. I will try. I will do my best that I can, because I have a feeling I'm not gonna figure out which one is the right one. I'm gonna try though. Oh yeah, I know. I absolutely don't know because I'm a moron. Damn it! Jump to conclusions early, of course. I think, therefore I am. This may be the solution we need for you. You know what? I wonder though. I really do wonder whether it must be. Let me just see what it does then. Does it doodly do anything? Wanna see? That doesn't really help. Okay, that helps. That perfectly is what I need. Okay, that works. How about the other one? I am not sure. I'm sorry, one second. I'm trying to figure out the formation around this, and it's not making my life easy at all, if I may be so real with you. It appears to be working. Maybe got something off there by a millimeter, but I'm not sure. And let's do now normal arithmetic view, and on the arithmetic view we can say that based upon this, if I would be a gambling man, what is my channel? How off is it? Jesus. Just remove this ugly line. Let me make this blue so I can see it a little better and think clear. I will tell you what. I will tell you that this appears that it definitely is going to do 36, 37 still. I'm not going to be all that surprised if through some dark magic it's able to push to 40, given that it's going to be a psychological as well and all that. I want to say that it hypothetically may be able to push to this 45, 47, very congested area you have there with various supports and resistances. But to be honest, I struggle to see how that will be enough. Maybe unless it goes into overbought and stays there for a little bit while. And I'm not really sure about the location of the channel. It may be even something like this, right? I'm guesstimating its location. Because again, there's enough in the system here, obviously, to get you to these highs. It's going to be really borderline, and I cannot determine whether it's more certain. But there I say it. You're aiming at that 45 potentially. It still has uptrend. And you may be looking at, give or take, like I said, the area of 48, 47, 45-ish, kind of like that. That is that. Yeah. Okay. Let's see chat. Innovation member for Discord access. Absolutely, Leo always gets it right. If you're not yet a member of the Patreon, you definitely need to join the Patreon. That way you'll be able to hang out with us, listen to upcoming sort of hypothesis, the analysis, talk about the markets, the things that we analyze, various assets, strategies, everything and anything. Hummus, if you want, we discuss that as well on a daily basis, of course. But actually, Mircha, that is how in the industry they make you remember the Head and Shoulders pattern referring to the shampoo. So, ironically enough, you hit the nail on the head. And yes, we'll be rewinding. Mitsu, alrighty. UAMY. Let's do that. I mean, this is pretty clear, right? You are right now, you see, I'm not even going to work hard, right? You see all that? Now check this out, right? Very distinct. The real question is, can you break it or you can't? And if I will be blunt with you, you can. And not by a slim margin, actually, by like potentially up to double-ish from where we're at, ish, right? Because 4 is double-ish, if you will. Close enough. 40%, you know. And yeah, it's bullish on all fronts. Shit makes me even want to get some. Just saying. Very risky. The fact of the matter, when it is still part of the market. But damn, this is very cheap with a beautiful upwards looking structure on all time frames. Who is that? Who brought that? Who brought that to the house? Leo. Wow. Wow, man. Wow. I mean, look, there's some pain, of course, right? But wow, man. Like legit wow. This is literally some pain. Wow. If the market was still open, I probably would have got some right now, this very second. You ate some bad hummus. Oh man, that is not a fun thing. We just spoke about it earlier today. Do not, hummus is such a thing. Like you need to be so careful. So the poisoning or like the stomach ache you can get from it, man, that is just pure hell. It's like legit cramps, and you feel like you're about to give birth to the biggest turd on the planet, basically, and it is very, very painful. So I'm sorry for the graphic, description. It is what it is, though. It is all accommodated by a lot of pain. So that's UAMY for you. That is pretty damn amazing. I gotta give it to you. Bedwars AAL. AAL. I think that's gonna be the last one for today. Seems like it is for the chat, and I think yeah, that'll be the last one for today. Let's see what we can see on AAL. Let's see if Polina found something as killer as Leo. Let's see. Okay. Less okay, but okay. I mean, I like the gaps on the top already. That's an interesting thing right there. I don't really like the daily, but the daily will be fine. This is the distinct uptrend, right? A distinct upwards pull up. I mean, you finish the process, maybe retest, but overall results in. Why am I doing everything with that angle? God damn it. Not great, less great. I was expecting to see something else. Not so great, not so great for ya. Very confused, and that's actually not great. That is having entanglement with the 50, so that's to be determined, but honestly doesn't look all too healthy. Normally you want to see it slide through and have a very distinct upwards, very steep angle, and this is not the case. On the other hand, your 6 months is looking oh so sexy, but it is, if you really zoom in, it looks also problematic because it looks like it's reverting back to potentially another retest here before it does its thing. Potentially. Let's look at our 12 months. Our 12 months is bullish to the bulky. It is very bullish. Bullish all the way to the bulkies. Yes, it is very bullish. Yes, it is this I like. It is very good place to start your chart. This is actually very phenomenal. Really, we found, look, the market of course is very dynamic. Things can behave in various ways, but we tend to find that from a long-lasting sort of point of view, the stocks that ended up having their stochastic data print on the lower end and not on the upper end tend to have a very distinct waiting period, if you will, before just exploding. It may take some time. It's like a spring that is being wound up, so it may take some time, and the problem with it, you never know. But that's where you tackle the actual financial of the company, and you have to understand whether they have the merit and the potential to survive current conditions, right? What is their moat, if they have any? What are they doing? What are they producing? What is their service? Who are their partners? Who are their clients? All of the above. Who's the CEO? All the basic stuff that you need to know in order to determine that the company is healthy, right? And if all that looks fine to you and you have enough conviction, it could potentially look like something that may pan out very interestingly in the long run. And interestingly enough, I also like how it's testing what was a ceiling as floor now, which is a very good bullish indication for you as well. I gotta say it, I like AAL and I like UAMY, right? UAMY. Before I get confused, please hit the like. Absolutely. Yes, Leo. Yes. The like is free. Please do hit it. Smash it. Break it. Break the like. Again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Looking forward to buying at those expected sale prices. Lulu nickname for grandma. I don't think I've ever heard that one, but now I know. I never knew. Nana, I know. Yeah. We said that one. I'm sorry. I feel for you, Casey. Very much do. Come whenever things gonna get finally normalized here. You're more than invited to come and visit. I'll take you to eat so much great hummus you'll never want to see one again, but or any of it, It's more like a spread thingy, as you guys know. But still, here it's more accommodated by meat and all sorts of wonderful things and freshly baked pita bread, and it's amazing. It really is. If you go to the right places. But you definitely come and visit. I'll take you to eat a lot of awesome food. One thing we have here is a ton of good food because the culinary arts made it here from all over the world and kind of got mixed into this crazy blender that is called Israel, and now everything here is just stupid tasty. Well, I exaggerate everything, but we have a lot of really good food. A lot. Hello, my friend. Mistaking talking to you. Tiny Bug! I didn't even notice whose message I'm reading. I'm sorry. Yes, why you're not joining us to you on Discord chat? Then, you need to join it. That's all up to you. That is all up to you. I try to spend there a lot of time, which now I will, an important, announcement, if you will. We are slowly going to be transitioning into more of this organized structure where I spend a predetermined amount of time, particular days, like a proper structured schedule, right? A certain predetermined amount of time in with the members. Then there will be the separate hangouts for the academy, for the one-on-one members, and the advanced tier on the Discord, on the Patreon, right? The members of that tier will be invited as well. By the way, reminding you, it's currently 50% discounted. It will and goes in retroactively. Basically, anybody and everybody who signed up will sign up temporarily. No need for promo codes, none of that crap. I decided it's going to be too difficult and people always struggle with that crap, so I simply discounted all the prices. Definitely join in if not yet. Join us on the Discord, of course, when you do see me there, as we're moving into a little bit more of an intense schedule. And yes, lots of meetings, lots of cool stuff is up to come. Be very attentive on the messaging about it. I don't want to promise anything ahead of time. I'm not still yet at 100%, back to full health, but I'm definitely moving back to feeling well and great strides, big strides. And so hopefully, knock on wood, foot, be there very, very soon. And and so there's plenty of awesome things to come. I will give plenty of credit for a lot of the effort and the push to get to the point where we do all that stuff. It goes to Bedwars Gang. She absolutely is a killer admin, does great work, and really, really tries to push me to do more of the stuff that she knows inherently I do have planned. It's just that due to me being sick and so many plans and so many things, it takes a while, but definitely a ton of credit goes to our amazing lady Bedwars Gang, and of course to all the other moderators and admins. You all help tremendously, but that particular front, Bedwars definitely took it upon herself to really, really push so this stuff will happen. So you can thank her for that, like I just did 2 weeks ago. I think what are you asking about? I'm not sure at this stage. I'm sorry, you're probably asking about AAL. I'm assuming, because that was the latest one we spoke about. Good evening, friends. Hey, Danny. Hi. Good to see you. And now we wait for the rug pull. Pretty much, Danny. I mean, we're not that far off, and I don't know if to call it as such, but we're tremendously close. We are basically borderline edging on the exact levels I warned you all about. We're seeing the exact bullish rally that I've expected. In fact, pretty much making it perfectly to the levels I spoke about. We're tracing back to these levels, still retaining the descending channel. Again, it's a pull-up, and I said we spoke about this for like 2 weeks straight, but here we are. We're kind of completing. Who says we cannot make it higher to roughly test maybe 100, 102? Yes, we can, but honestly, if you rewind and rewatch, you see that, I mean, Tesla is behind. Tesla is struggling. I've expected it to be doing better. although it's kind of inching closer and closer to the targets I gave, right? If you remember, I said we're kind of going to see 300, and in post-market, we're sitting at 290, so $10 away from my target. Everything seems to be in line, but if you remember, the prediction goes, and sure, I'm not saying that's going to be the exact spot, nor am I saying that will be the exact amount of time, but give or take, plus minus, right? I still, even if we're going to overshoot this and break down within $5 or $3 more, or even make it, by the way, let's not even mention the fact of the matter, we can actually make it to 333 before we do break. Let's set this aside. It's even marked on the chart and on the screen, but still, I'm more so a believer that the market will stumble at around 300, maybe slips a little bit higher, but I'm not sure of 333 anymore, given the low lows that we got. But we'll see. We'll see. Again, it's not much of a difference between 300 and 333, given that I predicted both and informed both of about both levels, and was able to predict that we're going to have a bullish trend, which was not exactly obvious to everybody. Wink, wink. So there you go. There you have that. That's it, boys and girls. Definitely don't miss out. Join the Patreon and the Discord, of course, those who are not yet. The 101 Academy is locked for for the time being until further notice. You can book a spot by talking to me, some Q&A, paying for that spot, yes. And that just means we keep it open until I finalize. You basically are the next in line, so to speak, once I finish with the students. But you currently are not. We're not going to be able to start teaching or learning and teaching with you right away, because I'm fully booked, as I've mentioned. And that is an important, a message or announcement to those who will watch for later or not yet joined. That's it, boys and girls. I think that's it for today. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you again to all the moderators and admins and the participants, the viewers, the members, all of you, the Patreons. A huge thank you to the Patreons. They really are, in lots of ways, are helping me pay all the bills for all the crappy stuff that I need to pay for, boosting the Discord and whether other services that I need, all sorts of crap. Or if to progress the channel, I use the service, the Canva service, all sorts of wonderful stuff that really kind of keeps the channel alive, right? It really helps a lot. So I'm tremendously grateful from the core of my soul to all the members, all the people who contribute, participate. And you know what? Let's make fun. Even the haters sometimes help. They give me something to do and somebody to make fun of. Yeah. And especially those who are mad that they're losing money. So basically the money they're losing, I'm making. So pretty fun for that. It's their fault. I warned in advance, so cry me a river. Yeah, we said, what do you think about them during recession, consumer-wise? I'll have to look deeper. Bad words, I'll have to look deeper to determine that. Remind me later, I'll take a look. Why not? Again, remember, when you have these tickers and you're not certain, again, we do the surface level stuff here, no problem. Some may consider this advanced, but then since you're a student or a major student, if you will, we'll be able to talk it over and go in depth on it and see really what is hidden under the surface and really determine one way or another. Thank you so much, Bedwars gang. Props to you. Absolutely. Also props to you, Aqua. You are the first OG mod admin person who I trusted with the community and stuff. And you've done phenomenal help and work for me, if you will. And without you just as much with Bedwars or Leo or Stonks, all the OG members who really been by my side throughout this entire process. Honestly, I don't know how much more difficult this would have been. I cannot even imagine, but exponentially, right? Exponentially. I truly love you all, appreciate you all. We'll wish you a wonderful, evening, afternoon, morning, whatever you have, wherever you're at. I'll see you on the next one, on the Discord, or wherever we're going to meet, right? See ya. Bye-bye.